Hi, boys and girls. We're going to, or I'm going to, show you a solution video for our word problems for week 20. And I just want to take some time to mention this should actually be Monday's questions, even though it says Tuesday. I must have not seen that they were labeled by and I've used these before, so it was probably on a weekend that we had a 3-day weekend. So this is supposed to be Monday instead of Tuesday. So we're going to look at our word problem, or sometimes they call them story problems. It says solve the word problems by using a model. That means you're drawing something to show your work. Write an equation to prove your model, and label the model and the equation with the information from the word problem. So let's take a look at our first problem. And it says Kevin is cleaning out the planters in front of his neighbor's yards for $9 each. So this guy has a little side job. He's cleaning out planters. And if you've ever seen a planter is a small place where people usually plant their flowers or plant some plants. And some people have them in front of their homes, or sometimes people have them in their backyards. But it's just a nice little place where people usually have like a little area for flowers that they plant. They call it a planter. So this guy is going around to people's yards and he's cleaning out these planters for $9 each. He wants to buy a bike for $72. If he cleans 10 planters, how much money will Kevin have left after he purchases the bike? Wow, this is a two-step problem because we're thinking to ourselves, okay, now notice I don't have multiplication or division here because it's not going to be just multiplication or just division. It's going to be a combination of maybe more than one operation. So let's think about if he cleaned 10 planters. Well, let's think about one planter. If he cleaned one planter, how much would he earn? Right, he would earn $9 for each planter that he cleaned. So he cleans one planter, that's $9. If he cleans another planter, what does he get? Right, he gets another $9. So that tells me that over and over again, he's getting the same amount each time he cleans out a planter. What does that tell you that we're doing as far as an operation? If you said multiplication, you'd be correct because we're repeatedly adding $9 every time he cleans out a planter. So 10 planters, here's another planter. He earns another $9 once he's finished. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here's a 7th planter. How much does he earn when he finishes cleaning it? Another $9, right? Here's planter number 8. Now he's at $9 again. Here's planter number 9. He's earned another $9. And finally, I'm going to have to add it over here to the end, or this end, another planter, and that's another $9. Now, I could add 9 plus 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 9. That's called repeated addition. But what is repeated addition? It's multiplication. Why is it multiplication? Because I have 10 groups, and each group has the same amount, which is $9. So I have 10 groups of $9. And the total is going to give me my total amount that he earned. So if he has 10 times 9, everybody should know they're tens, right? 9 groups of 10 or 10 groups of 9 is going to give you $90. So these are the planters, and everybody's labeling this, and this is the $9 for each planter he cleaned, right? And this $90 is his total earned, right? The total he earned from all the planters he cleaned. Total earned. Now, let's look at the question again. How much money will Kevin have left after he purchases his bike? Well, he's not going to have $90 after he buys his bike. Why? Because this is the total amount he earned. When you buy something, you're going to take from that total what you spent. And we can see he's going to buy a bike that's $72. So we have to take that $90 and subtract 72 from it. To find what is left after he's purchased the bike. So if I were to count, 90 minus 70 is equal to 20. And I don't have any ones, but I do subtract 2. That tells me I'm going to regroup a 10, and 10 minus 2 is 8. So he's going to have $18 left, because 10 and 8 makes 18. Or if I use my algorithm, I borrow a 10 from the 90. That leaves me with 80. I take that 10, add it here to my ones place, and now I can subtract 10 minus 2 is 8, and 80 minus 70 leaves me with 110 left, which is 18. So he has $18 left. So this was a two-step problem. It wasn't just multiplication, it wasn't just division, it was multiplication, then you had to use some subtraction to find what was left after he bought his bike. Okay, let's take a look at Pamela. Pamela works in the children's section at the library. If she has 75 books to place on 9 shelves and puts 8 books on each of the bookshelves, how many will she have left over if they do not all fit? So we're saying, how many books will she have left over if they do not all fit? So let's picture this. Let's draw ourselves a visual. What is she putting the books into? Right, she's putting them onto shelves. How many shelves? 9, right? So think of a shelf as like an array, right? Arrays are objects that are put into rows, right? So we have 1 row, 2 rows, 3 rows, 4 rows, 5 rows, 6 rows, 7 rows, 8 rows, and 9 rows. Now, each row is a shelf on the bookshelf. And it says she puts 8 books on each shelf. Now, I could draw tally marks, but that would be taking a lot of time on something that I don't need to do. So I'm just going to put an 8 here every time I think about putting 8 books on each shelf. So there's going to be 8 books on this shelf, and I'm going to put a B for books. This shelf is also going to have 8, and this one's going to have 8 books on that shelf, 8 books on this shelf, 8 books on that shelf, 8 books on that shelf, 8 books on that shelf, 8 books on this shelf, and finally 8 books on the 9th shelf. Now, again, you can see that the same number of books is being put on each shelf. So this tells me that I can use multiplication, right? So if I have 9 shelves, because that's what the first factor tells me, my groups, right? And my groups are the shelves. And I put 8 books on each shelf. Now I can find my total number of books. Well, I have 9 shelves. I have 8 on each shelf. If you know your multiplication facts, which is what you need to make sure that you're doing to practice. We don't have to add all these groups of 8 together. But if we do have to, we could skip count and go 9, 18, 27, 36, 45. So that would be 9 groups of 5. 54, 63, and finally 72. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9 groups of 8, or 8 groups of 9. 8 groups of 9 would be 72. 72 books. Now, it says that she has 75 books to place on the 9 shelves. Well, we see that 72 books is what she can put. If she isn't putting all of them, how many are going to be left? Well, we need to take these 75 books that she has to, or she's supposed to put on, and these are the 75 books, or 72 books that she was able to fit onto the shelves. What's her difference? Well, she's going to have 3 books left over that won't fit onto the shelves. And that should be an S here at the end, books that don't fit. That don't fit. Okay? That do not fit. So 3 books that do not fit on the shelf because she's able to put 8 books on each shelf. That makes 72 total books. But these 3 right here will not fit because 8 or 72 is not or 75 is not a multiple of 8. 72 is a multiple of 8 when you count by 8s, or when you count by 9s, 72 is a multiple of 9, but 75 is not a multiple of 9. So we got to think about those multiples. All right, that's it for today on your word problems. We'll come back tomorrow and do, and this will say Wednesday, but really it's going to actually be Tuesday. So we will do Tuesday's problems tomorrow. Okay, have a great afternoon, guys, and keep up the good work.